Good evening, everyone. I would like to welcome you all to the IoT session of Future'22 exhibition and competition organized by the Royal College Young Inventors Club. And without wasting any time, let me introduce you our lecturer of the day, Mr. Migara Amithodhana. He's an engineer by profession and the CEO and co-founder of MagicBit company, and most importantly, an innovator. So without further ado, let's get started with the session. Migara sir, the stage is yours.
Hi everyone, good afternoon. Thank you Royal College Innovators Club for inviting me for this session. I think it's a great pleasure to be sharing our knowledge and what we know with all this young crowd. For the sake of everyone, I will be conducting this session both in English and Sinhala. හැමෝටම තේරෙන විදිහට මම මේ භාෂා දෙකෙන්ම කරගෙන යන්නම්. In case there are students who don't understand Sinhala, that's why I will be doing it in English as well. First of all, I must congratulate Royal College Innovators Club for organizing an event like this, because I think innovation is one of the key things driving this world, and it's vital to innovate practically rather than talking about this like this, right? So that's where I think I thought of sharing some stuff with you all, which might be very helpful for you to develop your own innovations for this competition as well as for other things. මම අද share කරගන්න යන්නේ ඔයගොල්ලොත් එක්ක ගොඩක් වෙලාට ඔයගොල්ලන්ට practically use කරන්න පුළුවන් resources. මොකද විශේෂයෙන්ම අපේ team එකෙනුත් අපි ගොඩක් වෙලාටම innovation tools freely available කරන්න පුළුවන් ඒවා අපි හදන්න මහන්සි වෙනවා ඔයගොල්ලෝ වගේ ළමයින්ට ඒවා පාවිච්චි කරලා අලුත් innovations හදන්න. So let me share my screen. Yeah. So I have a small slide deck with me during this session. And so the idea of this session is actually not to lecture you about IoT or about these stuff. So I wanted to give you some practical ideas with my experience and some of the things which might be helpful for you to develop a practical application. මම මේ ඇත්තටම share කරගන්න හදන්නේ මගේ අත්දැකීමෙන් ඕගොල්ලන්ට practically දේවල් හදද්දී ඒවා use කරන්න පුළුවන් දේවල් සහ හිතට ගන්න ඕන concepts ගැන මොකද පස්සේ වෙන වැරදීම් අවම කරගන්න. එතකොට මේ ඇත්තට මගේ නම මිගාරා අමිතෝදන. මම ඇත්තටම වෘත්තියෙන් ඉංජිනේර් කෙනෙක්. එතකොට මගේ ගොඩක් ඉන්ටරෙස්ටිං ඒරියා එක තමයි මේ ටෙක්නිකල් ඉනෝවේෂන්ස් කියන පැත්ත. හැබැයි ඇත්තටම ඉනෝවේෂන්ස් කියලා කිව්වහම ඒක මේ ටෙක්නොලොජිම විතරක් නෙමෙයි අවංකවම. නමුත් මේ මගේ ඉන්ටරෙස්ට් ඒරියා එක ටෙක්නොලොජි පැත්ත. ඉතින් මම ගොඩක් IoT side එක මේ වගේ ගොඩක් sessions lectures සහ workshops කරලා තියෙනවා. එතකොට මේ ඔයගොල්ලන්ට මම පටන් ගන්න තැන කිව්වොත් එහෙම ඔයගොල්ලෝ දන්නවා we all know that Sri Lanka used to be a very innovative nation, building things like Sigiriya back then, where they have taken the water, the spring water from the ground to a top of a monolith. මේගේ එක තනි ගලක් උඩට පල්ලෙහා ඉඳලා වතුර අරගන්න ඒ වගේ තාක්ෂණයක් තිබ්බා කියලා අපි බොහොම ආඩම්බර වෙනවා. මීට අවුරුදු 1500 2000කට කලින් තිබ්බ ඒ වගේ. නමුත් අද වෙනකොට තියෙන ස්ටේටස් එක ගත්තොත් අපි ලංකාව global innovation index එකේ. ඒ කියන්නේ අනිත් රටවල් එක්ක innovation කියන දේ ගත්තාම අපි ඉන්නේ 100කටත් වඩා ඇති. Right? Somebody raised a hand. ඇහෙනව නේද හැමෝටම මම කතා කරනවා ඇහෙනවද කාට හරි කන්ෆර්ම් කරන්න පුළුවන් slide deck එක පේනව නේද organizing team එකෙන් confirm කරන්න පුළුවන්
Yes sir.
Okay, perfect. So if you have any questions, can you what I will do is we will have a break. අපි 6:00 වගේ පොඩි break එකක් අරගෙන we'll have a set of questions. Then at the end of the sessions I'll have another questions rounds, right? So if you have any questions, don't worry, I can answer those questions in 2 rounds, right? දැන් එතකොට මේ අද ඉන්න ස්ටේටස් එක ගත්තොත් අපි ගොඩක් පල්ලෙහාන් ඉන්නේ. ඉතින් එතෙන්දී මෙතෙන්දී අන්න ඒක නිසා තමයි ඕගොල්ලෝ වගේ young innovators ලා what is innovation කියන එක ගැන හරි අවබෝධයක් ගන්න ඕනේ. එතකොට එතෙන්දී ඕගොල්ලන්ට මේක practically වැදගත් වෙන්න reason එක තමයි 65% of the children in the school right now will end up in positions which do not exist yet. ඕගොල්ලෝ job market එකට රස්සාවලට යනකොට අද A level කරන වගේ ළමයි නෙමෙයි මම කියන්නේ දැන් 6 7 8 9 10 වගේ ඉන්න ළමයි job වලට යනකොට ඕගොල්ලෝ ඉගෙනගෙන ඉවර වෙනකොට අනිවාර්යෙන් දැන් තියෙන job positions නෙමෙයි තියෙන්නේ. මම උදාහරණයක් කිව්වොත් දැන් ඉස්සර අපි ඉස්කෝලේ යන කාලේ හිටිය ටයිපිස්ලා කියලා ටයිප් කරන වෙනම කට්ටිය හිටිය ගවර්න්මන්ට් ඔෆිස් වල. දැන් ප්‍රයිවට් ඒවත් හිටියා. දැන් එහෙම අයව හයර් කරන්නේ නැහැ. ඊට පස්සේ මේ වගේ සමහර job positions වල තියෙන දේවල් repeatedly මිනිස්සු කරන ඒවා new innovations වලින් මොකද වෙන්නේ? ඒවා automated වෙනවා. සමහර ඒවා machines වලින් automaticallyම කරලා දානවා. ඒවා වෙන්නාවම ඒ job positions නැහැ. ඊට පස්සේ එන්නේ අලුත් job positions. ඒකට ඒවට ready වෙන්න නම් ඕගොල්ලෝ මේ innovation and creativity කියන දේ තමයි මිනිසුන්ගේ තියෙන machines වලින් එහෙම නැත්නම් innovations කියලා අපිට අලුත් දේවල් හදලා replace කරන්න බැරි එකම දේ. So it's very important to practice innovation at your age rather than just targeting a job position, because some of your dream jobs that you have in your mind right now will not be the same by the time you enter the job market. ඔයා ඩොක්ටර් කෙනෙක් වෙන්න හිතාගෙන ඉන්නවා නම් ඔයා ජොබ් මාකට් එකට එන කාලෙදි සමහර විට ඕගොල්ලෝ රොබෝටික්ස් එක්ක සර්ජරි කරන ඩොක්ටර්ස්ලා වෙන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්නේ. right? So ඒක same දැන් තියෙන එකම නෙමෙයි වෙන්නේ. අනිත් එක තමයි ඇත්තටම මේ ඉනෝවේෂන් කියන එකේ මම අනිත් දකින ඉම්පෝටන්ස් එක අපි මේ ග්ලෝබල් වෝර්මින් ගත්තත් එන්වයරන්මන්ටල් පොලියුෂන් ගත්තත් මේ පවර් අපිට තියෙන මේ ආර්ථික ප්‍රශ්න මේ හැම එකක්ම ගත්තොත් මේ හැම එකක්ම අපිට නවත්තන්න දැන් too late. ඒ උදාහරණයක් ගත්තොත් අපිට ලෝකේ තියෙන කර්මාන්ත ශාලා ඔක්කොම වහලා වාහන පාවිච්චි කරන ඔක්කොම නවත්තලා අපිට එන්වයරන්මන්ට් එක රැක ගන්න පුළුවන්ද? බැහැ. කවුරුත් ලෑස්ති නැහැ ලෝකේ තියෙන ඔක්කොම කර්මාන්ත ශාලා වහන්න. right? Nobody is ready to stop all the factories all throughout the world. right? එතකොට අපිට මේකට කරන්න පුළුවන් දේ තමයි මේවා වලට ටෙක්නොලොජි එක පාවිච්චි කරලා හදන්න පුළුවන් විසඳුම් හොයන එක තමයි අපිට කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ කියන්නේ ලෝකේ තියෙන හැම ප්‍රොබ්ලම් එකකටම තියෙන විසඳුම තමයි ඉනෝවේෂන්ස් කියන දේ. එතකොට ඕගොල්ලන්ගේ මේ ඉනෝවේෂන්ස් වලට ඕගොල්ලන්ට ගන්න පුළුවන් ඒවා තමයි මේන් ඉනෝවේෂන් ටයිප්ස් 4ක් තියෙනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ ඉන්ක්‍රිමෙන්ටල්, රැඩිකල්, ඩිස්රප්ටිව්. අනිත් එක ඇත්තටම මම කොපීයින් කියලා දැම්මේ ඒකේ හරි වර්ඩ් එක කොපීයින් නෙමෙයි. ඒකේ ඉන්ක්‍රිමෙන්ටල් කියලා කියන්නේ දැන් තියෙන දෙයක් වැඩි දියුණු කරන එක. අපි හිතුවොත් දැන් කොස්සක් තියෙනවා ගෙදර ඔයා වඩා හොඳ කොස්සක් හදනවා. right? ඩස්බින් එකක් ගෙදර තියෙනවා ඔයා ස්මාර්ට් ඩස්බින් එකක් හදනවා. right? ඩෙස්ක් එකක් තියෙනවා ඔයා ස්මාර්ට් ඩෙස්ක් එකක් හදනවා. likewise. ඒකේ රැඩිකල් and disruptive කියන්නේ දැනට එහෙම එකක් නැහැ. ඔයා ඒ වගේ එකක් හදනවා. right? ඒක ඇවිල්ලා completely new product එකක් එතකොට. හරි? අපි ගත්තොත් එහෙම නිකන් out of the box example එකක් අපි ගත්තොත් දැන් කාර් වල මාළු ටැංකි නැහැනේ. කාර් වල තියන්න පුළුවන් මාළු ටැංකියක් හදන්න. ඒ වගේ නිකන් හිතා ගන්න බැරි සම්පූර්ණයෙන්ම වෙනස් එකක්. ඊට පස්සේ අනිත් එක මම කියන්න හැදුවේ කොපීයින් කියන එක මම අදහස් කරන්නේ නරක වෙනත් කෙනෙක්ගේ දේ හොරකම් කරන එක නෙමෙයි. වෙන රටක ඉම්ප්ලිමන්ට් කරලා දෙන දේ අපේ රටකට හරි රීජන් එකකට ගැළපෙන විදිහට ඉම්ප්ලිමන්ට් කරන එකක් වුණත් නිව් ඉනෝවේෂන් එකක් විදිහට අපිට හදා ගන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ කියන්නේ වෙන රටක තියෙන දෙයක් බලලා ඒක අපේ රටට හරි අපේ රීජන් එකට අපේ කමියුනිටි එකට ගැළපෙන විදිහට හදන එක නව නිෂ්පාදනයක් විදිහට කවුන්ට් කරන්න පුළුවන්. මේ හදද්දී විශේෂයෙන් හිතන්න ඕන කාරණා ගත්තොත් එකක් තමයි මේක හරි ඇත්තටම මේ යුනික් එකක් වෙන්න ඕනේ. ඒ කියන්නේ it has to be a very unique solution rather than just a replica of something. හරිද? ඊට පස්සේ අනිත් තියෙන්න ඕන දෙයක් තමයි මේක robust and scalable කියලා අපි කියනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ it has to last long. ඒ කියන්නේ ඒක ටිකක් කල් පවතින එකක් වෙන්න ඕනේ. ඔයා මේකක් හදලා දැන් අපි සමහර වෙලාවට මේ එක්සිබිෂන් එකකට වගේ හදන්නේ ප්‍රොටෝටයිප් එකක්. හරිද? ඒ කියන්නේ ඔයා හදන්නේ කඩේ තියලා විකුණන්න පුළුවන් ප්‍රොඩක්ට් එකක් නොවෙන්න පුළුවන්. නමුත් ඒක කඩේ තියලා විකුණන්න පුළුවන් වෙන ප්‍රොඩක්ට් එකක් හදන්න පුළුවන් එකක් වෙන්න ඕනේ කවදා හරි ඒක මාකට් එකට ගෙනියන්න නම්. නැත්නම් අපිට මේ කෑලි අටෝලා නිකන් තියෙන එකක් මාකට් එකට ගෙනියන්න බෑ. ඒක පිටරටවල විකුණන්න බෑ. right? ඊට පස්සේ අනිත් එක තමයි ඉකොනොමිකලි ෆීසිබල් වෙන්න ඕනේ. ඒ කියන්නේ මේ ප්‍රොඩක්ට් එක මිනිස්සුන්ට සාධාරණ මුදලකට විකුණලා they should be able to buy that product. right? ඒ කියන්නේ producing it should be feasible. ඒ කියන්නේ අපි කියනවා ඒකේ ප්‍රොඩක්ට් දැන් අපි හිතමුකෝ දැන් මාකට් එකේ තියෙන සබන් කැටයක් රුපියල් 150යි. right? ඔයා හදනවා අලුත් සබන් කැට ඒ සබන් කැට රුපියල් 550යි. එතකොට එතනම මාකට් එකේ ලොකු පිරිසකට ඒක ගන්න බෑ. right? එතකොට ඔයා හදන සබන් කැටේ ප්‍රයිස් එකත් එක්කත් කම්පිටිටිව් වෙන්න ඕනේ. right? එතකොට ඕගොල්ලෝ දකිනවා ඇති there are so many inventions in Sri Lanka appearing on media. right? In TV, in paper and everywhere. But none of them come to the market. ඔගොල්ලෝ දකිනවා ඇති ගොඩක් මේ වගේ new innovations එක එක ඒවා කියලා කියනවා. ඒවන එකක්වත් මාකට් එකට එන්නේ නැහැ. ඒගොල්ලෝ ඊට පස්සේ බ්ලේම් කරනවා ගවර්න්මන්ට් එකෙන් සපෝට් කරන කියලා. ගවර්න්මන්ට් එකෙන් සපෝට් කරන්න දෙයක් නැහැ. මිනිස්සුන්ගේ ප්‍රශ්නයකට ඇත්ත විසඳුමක් හෙව්වොත් මිනිස්සු එක පර්චේස් කරලා ගන්නවා. right? So it's very important to understand. First you have to make sure that the technology behind it works. You have to make sure that it is something which can be manufactured, and then you have to address a real world problem rather than thinking of something on your own. Right? Then people will buy that to solve their problem. right? Simple as that. ඊට පස්සේ මම දැන් අද කතා කරන්න බලාපොරොත්තු මම ඉනෝවේෂන් ගැන පොඩි ඉන්ට්‍රෝ එකක් මුලින් දුන්නේ හැමෝටම පොඩි ඉනෝවේෂන් ගැන අයිඩියා එකක් එන්න. එතකොට අපි දැන් මේ කතා කරන්නේ මේ ඉනෝවේෂන් එක මේ අපේ අද වෙනකොට ලෝකේ ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා ඉන්ඩස්ට්‍රියල් රෙවොලූෂන්ස් 4ක්. right? Give me a minute. Okay, sorry for the slight disturbance. So basically what I was trying to get here is now there are 4 industrial revolutions that the world has faced, and right now we are going through the industry 4.0. right? So the first industrial revolution is the one with the steam engine, and then came the electricity. Kindly keep your mics muted. If the organizing committee can mute everyone and just unmute others at the time we are allowing questions, it will be better. So basically the third industrial revolution is about the computers, and then came what do you call industry 4.0. So every time we call this an industrial revolution because the world has been significantly changed. Right now what is happening is the digital world, the computers and everything, and the physical world that we are facing is becoming one, connecting together. So we call this cyber physical systems. right? I will explain it in the later, and you will understand with these technologies only that this is happening, which is artificial intelligence, cloud computing, big data, internet of things, virtual reality. right? So these are some of the driving forces of industry 4.0. මේ වගේ ටෙක්නොලොජිස් ගොඩක් එකතු වෙලා තමයි industry 4.0 කියන එක ඇත්තටම අපි මේ කාර්මික විප්ලවයක් අද වෙනකොට වෙනවා කියලා කියන්නේ. So if I give you an understanding what is IoT, so basically it's an umbrella term given for many types of technologies. What happens is simply things are getting connected through internet now more often than before. right? And many devices are getting connected to the internet, and this technology is not something like මේක කියන්නේ mathematics හරි geography හරි වගේ එකක් නෙමෙයි. මේක ඇවිල්ලා collection එකක් technologies වල. It's a collection of technologies such as electronics, programming, communication. right? And cloud computing and everything. right? So that's why we call it an umbrella term. And the next part is so this thing connects very small devices to large devices. right? So first we will try to understand the concept of IoT, then I will show you how you can incorporate IoT into your innovations. right? I think this one will be very helpful for you to even for this competition as well. because you can use this technology in your competition. I will show you how you can use, right? Then, for example, now very small devices to very large devices are getting connected to the internet nowadays. If you think about a small sensor, like even a mobile phone, that's very small, right? But if you think about an aeroplane or a satellite, it's a very big device and it's connected to internet now. Then ඕගොල්ලෝ flight එකක යනකොට ඇත්තටම flight එකේ internet තියෙනවා දැන් සමහර flights වල. එතකොට from very small devices to very large devices, everything is now getting connected to internet. For example, I think some of you might not was not there in early 2000s, but if you ask from your parents how many devices were connected to internet at your home in 2000, in the year 2000, most of them will reply either one or two devices or no devices at all, right? හැබැයි දැන් අද වෙනකොට ගත්තොත් ඔයගොල්ලෝ කවුන්ට් කරලා බලලා ඔයගොල්ලෝ ගෙදර වැඩි හිටිය අය 3-4 දෙනෙක් ඉන්නවනම් you probably have around 6 to 8 to 10 devices at your home connected to the internet, right? So imagine that every household all around the world is becoming like this, and that's why it is predicted that the number of connected devices will exceed 50 billion or 100 billion by the end of this decade. And the population of the world is actually 7 billion right now, and we have more than 20 billion devices connected to the internet. That is the power of Internet of Things, actually. So we have more devices connected to the internet than the population on Earth, right? For example, a simple IoT application would be, now if you have used Uber or Pick Me Foods or anything, so this sort of a normal ordering system is a very simple example of an IoT application. Now you have a mobile app, and while you are using it, you are accessing a server somewhere, right? So all the data about the merchants and everything is in this server. So you are getting connected through the cellular network, and then you can see the real-time location of the person who is coming to deliver you the product or the taxi, with the GPS tracker there, either a separate GPS tracker or his or her mobile phone, and that is getting connected to the satellite, and then they get the GPS signal, and then you can see the location in real time. So this sort of system is a very simple example of an IoT system. If I tell you about one of the most popular examples of IoT, that is smart home. So basically everything in at home which is connected to the internet, we call it them smart devices, such as smart lighting, smart thermostat, smart door locks, smart TVs, smart pet care system. Everything is there. මම මේ දෙන දාලා තියෙන හැම product එකක්ම දැන් market එකේ තියෙනවා. මේවා අපිට අලුතෙන් හදන්න දෙයක් නැහැ, right? But we can do certain improvements, and also you can try to develop some of these things. Then you will understand the underlying concepts of these products. මේ product market එකේ තියෙනවා කියලා ඔයගොල්ලෝ නොහදා ඉන්න හේතුවකුත් නෑ. හදලා බලන්න පුළුවන් මොකද underlying concept එක අවබෝධ කරගන්න පුළුවන්. So based on that, you can make a better product than what is available in the market, right? So one way again to develop something new is study something which is already there and develop a better product or a cost-effective product, right? And another application would be smart grid. I think you all have experienced all these power outages and everything in Sri Lanka. So one way to, we don't have a smart grid right now. Some countries have. So basically for distribution and production and even at the consumer end, if we use smart devices, we can control the electricity grid in a smart manner by balancing the loads and the supply and the demand, right? So for example, now I think you all know that we have around 6 million houses in Sri Lanka. So around 90% of them have electricity, right? And to read the meter, every month somebody goes to these houses and read the meter, right? For water, both for water and electricity. Imagine if we have a meter where we can get the meter reading, send a message or an email or even by post the bill automatically. we don't need none of them, right? We don't need meter readers basically, right? So that will happen in the future, right? And that has already happened in some countries. So these things can be done, right? So that is what we mean by smart grid. So these are some implementations of IoT, right? And the next question is, now I think you might have seen YouTube videos like this. You might have seen stuff on the internet and read articles. The next problem is, can we develop these IoT applications in Sri Lanka, right? So that is the next problem we anybody can ask. So everybody is preaching about this technology and show some videos from USA or Europe or somewhere. So I will show you 3 examples in Sri Lanka, which we have done by our team, where we were directly involved. So basically, so this first example is for actually getting data out of the production line of a tea factory. And the second one is to automate and also to create dashboards for the machines in an apparel manufacturing company. And the third one is for commercial weather stations. So we have established close to 100 weather stations for different clients all around the country. Now each of these weather stations are connected to the internet. So anybody can see it over the internet, what is happening there, and real-time monitoring, real-time weather data. We keep the records of that. So we have the weather data for a long time. So all these are IoT applications, IoT related. We have created dashboards or automations based on that. All these are done. All these were done in Sri Lanka, right? So it pretty much you can do it and earn a living out of that as well, right? So this is that sort of an industrial sensor module that we have developed. So this is basically an IoT gateway. මේකෙන් කරන්නේ ඒ කියන්නේ different sensors ඕනම factory එකක තියෙන ඒවා මේකට connect කරලා මේක හරහා අපිට internet එකේ ඕනම දැනකට ගන්න පුළුවන්. So we can connect this to any system, any cloud-based application. So basically this is a product done by us called Things Node, and we have implemented this product in this IoT node in many places. So I'm not going to go into that video, and so that's a short video about IoT. And so basically the opportunities right now, below 40% of only the industries have IoT, right? But what will happen is by 2025, more than 80% of the industries will adopt IoT because they can achieve more productivity. ඒගොල්ලන්ට ගොඩක් මේ productivity එක ඇති කරගන්න පුළුවන් මේකේ. හොඳම example එකක් කිව්වොත්, now if you are a factory owner, now if you don't have a smart system, you don't know what's happening in your company when you're not there, right? Now the systems that we are implementing or others are implementing with IoT is basically we attach sensors to each and every machine. So even if you are at home, you know what's happening with each and every machine in your company. Basically, how many machines are working, how many are faulty, how many units were produced, how many were how many units are manufactured every minute. So you can get the real-time update of your factory just using a mobile phone, right? So that is the ultimate productivity for any company. So that is what we can achieve with IoT. And on the other hand, now if you compare companies like Google, Amazon, Microsoft, everybody is chasing behind IoT now. Why? We are using Facebook, Google, and everything free, even YouTube and all, and we are giving our data to them to use for their advertising, right? So one of the biggest problem they are having is they don't have access to our physical world. So now they are keen on this. That's why they are actually investing on IoT, because, for example, you all might seen these smart watches, right? So smart watch is an IoT device. It connects to the internet with Bluetooth to a mobile phone. So basically, even these companies know how your heart beats now, how many steps you walk, from where to where you walk, right? අපේ ඇත්තටම ජීවත් වෙන විදිය, ඇවිදින විදිය, heart beat එකක් දන්නවා මේ IoT devices ආවට පස්සේ companies, right? Which they can use as aggregated data for certain applications. ඒක තමයි දැන් කියන්නේ ඉස්සර කිව්වේ oil තමයි ගොඩක්ම වටින්නේ කියලා. Now they say data is the new oil, right? Because data creates massive businesses like Google, which provides you free of charge search engine and browsers and everything, and things services like even YouTube free of charge, right? So they maintain massive facilities to provide you these free services because they capture our data, right? So basically IoT we use for better products or new products or solutions, or to get better results like automations to automate things, increase productivity by creating more visibility with dashboards and all. And it is said that this will be highly used for automobiles, connected vehicles, and consumer electronic devices by the year 2030. So you all will experience this, right? And then this is spending on IoT. So දැන් අපි ඇත්තටම ඕගොල්ලන්ට වැදගත් වෙන පැත්තට ආවොත්, so any IoT application has three parts, right? So that is the thing, the sensors, and the connectivity, and the cloud part. If you can resolve these three parts, you can create an IoT application. ඔයාගේ ඕනම application එකකට උනත් ඉන්ටර්නෙට් එකට කනෙක්ට් කරන්න නම් මේ parts තුන හරියට අඳුර ගන්න ඕනේ. What are the sensors or actuators to use? And then how are you going to connect it to the internet? And then what is the cloud service, or how you are going to manage your data, right? So those are the three questions that you have to solve before creating an IoT application. Yeah, so the things, the sensors could be something like to capture temperature, humidity, GPS, accelerometer. එහෙම නැත්නම් මේක motor එකක්, bulb එකක්, switch එකක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. එහෙම නැත්නම් මේක computer එකක් වගේ එකක් වෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. And then the network, it can be Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, 4G, 2G, 5G, and even cable connection for internet, right? And then you need a cloud service to capture data, gather data, store data, and maybe create very nice graphs and all, graphical representation of data, right? So, and even later do things like AI, big data analyzing and all that. So when you are creating an IoT application, what you can do is first do a problem identification, and then identify what are the parameters that you have to capture, and do the hardware designing, do the software part, connect those things, do a testing, and do a pilot run. For example, I will tell you an example. Now you want to automate watering the plants at your home, right? So that is the IoT solution that you are going to build. When you are away from home, when you go for a trip, you want to water the plants at your home, right? Now now in days like this where it rains heavily, you have to stop it manually as well, right? So that is a problem. So the parameters you can identify. The second step is parameter identification. So you have to identify how I can determine whether the plant needs the water. The best way is to use a soil moisture sensor or calculate the soil moisture level of the plant, and based on that you can determine whether the plant needs the water or not. Then you need a soil moisture sensor, and then some hardware device or an embedded system or a single board computer to process that data and connect to somewhere. Then you need a software side, a cloud-based side, where you have to remotely connect it to a mobile app or a web-based thing to control that, right? Then you can assemble this solution and test it, solve the problems, and do a pilot run, right? So that is a basic example, right? So then where you can start, I think I have misspelled can here. So basically that's what we are enabling. So as MagicBit, what we are doing is we are developing this development board series for kids to develop applications like this and to learn subject areas like IoT, programming, robotics, and all. So what we have is this hardware, software, mobile apps, and content you can actually, so none of our software, mobile apps and content actually charge you anything. So all these resources are freely available. Hardware actually comes at a cost, but we don't mind you using any other. So we developed these single board computers called MagicBit like this. So these can be actually used for the things part. Basically, you can connect the sensors to this one, get the data through internet to somewhere and control it. I will show you how it's done. And usually MagicBit Core and Magic Key are the most popular products in Sri Lanka among students. So this Magic Key product has actually Bluetooth Wi-Fi inbuilt. So you can connect it to internet and it has LEDs and other stuff. And even so it's very competitive with this Arduino Uno board. So you can get a MagicBit at a very lower price with high functions compared to Arduino Uno. And we are the original manufacturer of this product. And this is actually an export product that we are doing. And even the MagicBit Core, this is the MagicBit Core, the hexagonal one. So basically this one has all these displays, LEDs, buzzers, push buttons and all. So you can use for different applications, like even for button inputs to display something. And even you can connect other sensors from the market with this one other than what's already there. So basically you can program it with any programming language. If you're familiar with things like Arduino, it's 100% compatible. And it can be programmed with Python, Scratch, JavaScript, or anything. And when it's combined with things like 3D printing, you can do actually many projects. You can see this is a pulse oximeter, or even, so these are some hexapod quadrupod robots, Makulu organ robot. And this is a pet feeder, actually, smart pet feeder. And even robo applications. Now, I think one thing I have to highlight here is you don't have to limit with products or anything. So all the robots that you see here, this is a smart dustbin, which make ඇවිල්ලා ඔයාට dustbin එකට දාන්න ඕන වෙලාවට dustbin එක ඔයා ළඟට ඇවිල්ලා කුණු ටික අරන් යන dustbin එකක් මේ. So මේක ඇත්තටම මේ ළමයෙක් හදලා තියෙන්නේ cardboard වලින්, right? So basically he has used a development board, a sonar sensor, and then a mobile app part. So basically, all the stuff are created using cardboard, even this second robot, right? So you don't need actually sometimes all the plastics and the complex stuff to simulate a solution, right? You can actually even develop. Now, we are not selling cardboard, right? So we actually sell, we also have a robo platform like this, and you can see ඔයගලන්ට මේකේ coding කොහොමද කරන්නේ කියලා coding examples අපේ තියෙනවා website එකේ බලන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ කියන්නේ ඔයගලන්ට even වෙන එකක් එක්ක Arduino එකක් එක්ක හරි වෙන board එකක් use කරලා මේ වගේ ඒවා හදනවා නම් ඒත් බලන්න පුළුවන්. අපේ එකේ ගොඩක් resources තියෙනවා. And project ideas. ඔයගලන්ට මේකේ website එකේ මම පෙන්නන්නම්. මේකේ මේ ගොඩක් මේ innovative projects කරන්න මේකේ තියෙනවා මේ වගේ එක එක projects කරන්න පුළුවන් මොනවද කියලා. ඒ කියන්නේ මේ අර කළුවර වුණාම automatically පත්තු වෙන light එකක්, එහෙම නැත්නම් game එකක් හදන්න door alert system එකක්, මේ තියෙන light එකක් manual එළියේ ඉඳලා control කරන IoT project එකක්, smart irrigation system එකක්, මේ all these projects are documented here, right? So you can actually check it out and you can learn how it can be done. Then based on that you can do certain improvements and do your own thing. I don't want any of you to copy this one actually and made something. So basically you can make it a better one, right? So that's the idea. And then there's an application called Magic Blocks mobile app. ඔයගොල්ලන්ට මේ බලන්න පුළුවන්. So it's available in Android only at the moment. So it's a mobile app like this. I think my yeah, so it's a mobile app. It's a mobile app like this. So basically, if you install this Android mobile app, you can use whatever the sensors in a mobile phone, like the accelerometer, GPS, in your application. So basically, it allows you to get the data via MQTT protocol to a cloud-based IoT system. I will show you that right now, how you can use it. So basically, yeah, so let me show you that one quickly. Give me a minute. And at the same time, if you have any questions, until I'm getting ready for the demo, if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer. You can either unmute yourself or ask in the chat. Whether about the technology or any yeah, one person has asked me what is the full or the full word for IoT. So that's this abbreviation. So basically, it's called Internet of Things, right? Internet of Things කියලා තමයි කියන්නේ. That meter reading wirelessly that exists in Sri Lanka. No, it's not. There are a couple of pilot projects were done, both by the water board and the CEB, but they have not implemented it island wide. So they did actually a couple of pilot projects with around 200 to 300 machines. But all the machines that you have at your household now supports this smart technology, but we are not using it. Yeah. So I think I will share you the website as well, this MagicBit website. Some of you have asked about the prices and all. It's I think it's not nice to discuss the prices and all. So you can all check all the things. Check all the things on our website. So I think one person has asked me about Arduino IDE and MagicBit. So basically, MagicBit is actually 100% compatible for Arduino IDE. So you just have to add the MagicBit board in the Arduino IDE and you can program it as it is. And you can program it even if you are good with Scratch. You can program it Scratch. It can be actually programmed with many languages like even C#, JavaScript, Python. So there are so many options for MagicBit, but I think the most familiar thing for kids is I think Arduino. So it's 100% Arduino compatible. Yeah, I think that's pretty correct. I think one kid has said me, we use the wireless meter reading that data. Yeah, so e-bill, we can use it for e-bill, and it's not currently used for all the meters in Sri Lanka. So only it's piloted in certain areas only. Right. All right. Any other questions or any other suggestions? You can share your suggestions as well. Can we use MagicBit for any circuit? We can, sir, can we use MagicBit for any circuit? Yeah, you can use MagicBit for any circuit, but actually if you want to use for any other stuff, you can you might have to do some custom circuit designing, but you can use it for solution designing, prototyping and all those purposes. Gyroscope means location. No, GPS is location. GPS එක තමයි location එකට ගන්නෙ. Location එක ගන්නෙ. එතකොට gyroscope එකෙන් ගන්න පුළුවන්. Gyroscope and accelerometer එකෙන් phone එකේ orientation එක ඊට පස්සේ phone එක move වෙනවද ඒ වගේ එකක් තමයි ගන්න පුළුවන්. ඔයගොල්ලන්ට මේ Magic Blocks app එක දාගත්තොත් බලන්න පුළුවන්. දැන් මම මෙහෙම gyroscope එක I'm not sure whether you can see this. මම මෙහෙම මේක select කරාම මේකේ values ටික වලට පේනවා මෙතන. මේක මෙහෙම change වෙනකොට phone එකේ වාගේ orientation එක වෙනස් වෙනවා, value ටික change වෙනවා පේනවා, value ටික ගරගන්න පුළුවන් මේක ඕන application එකකට වඩා වෙන තැනකට. I will show you how it's done actually. Dustbin, how the smart dustbin knows whether to No, actually, so that smart dustbin, so basically that how it was designed is there's a mobile app part or a web-based one. So if you want to dispose something, when you click on the mobile phone, the dustbin comes to you and it takes the garbage, right? It's a funny application, and you can actually play around with it. MagicBit has Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. Yes, it has both actually. It uses a chip called ESP32, which has both Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. Right. So actually, kids, I took some time for you to share the screen and show you this one. But honestly, the reason that I took some time is, so the website we have is called magicblocks.io. But unfortunately, so this is the website. I will share this in the chat as well. This unfortunately at the moment there's a routine maintenance ongoing with the hosting service, so the site is down at the moment. So I recommend you to try this out maybe in about 1 hour, because the service provider we are using is a US service provider, and they are having some maintenance at the moment. So I just checked my email. They have sent me an email as well. It will be down for like 30 minutes. So you won't be able to access this site right now. පැය භාගකින් packing වගේ check කරලා බලන්න, then it will be okay. So can we use another level of microcontroller rather than using all? Yeah, you can use any microcontroller. You can use any microcontroller, and there are so many microcontrollers as well. Right. I think some people have sent me it's working right now. So let me check. I think my cache might have to be cleared for that one. No, I think it's still not working for, but no worries, no worries. I can show you an example. So once you have go into this website, you can register as a new user using your mobile, using your email address, and you can create a free account here for IoT applications, and you can actually log into this platform like this. And once you log in, you can start your session by clicking on the start playground button. This is a drag and drop system, and making IoT applications අපිට drag and drop කරලා connect කරලා හදන්න පුළුවන්. මම දැන් මෙතන මගේ IoT side එකට මම use කරන්න හදන්නේ මෙන්න මේ මගේ අතේ තියෙන MagicBit එක. මේකට MagicBit එකක්ම use කරන්න ඕනේ. ඇත්තටම මේ you can use any other hardware as well which uses ESP32 කියන chip එක තියෙන ඕන hardware එකක් මේකට පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුළුවන්. So I powered it on and make all the instruction how to do this and all they are in our website, not only for MagicBit but even for other ones. So in any cloud, so this is a cloud application. මම මේ ඔයගොල්ලන්ට පෙන්නන්නේ IoT cloud platform එක. Making අපිට devices, we can manage devices with this, we can program multiple devices with this. Right now I am holding this MagicBit in my hand without any cable, right? I have connected a battery like this, so it doesn't have any cable. Now I'm connecting this one to this cloud platform. Then I can program it, get the data of this platform to this one, right? So you can imagine, so you can control any of your applications like this through the internet using this software, right? So you can add any device like this on this left hand menu. If you go to in your left hand menu, you can actually go to this device manager and then add the device. You can actually add a MagicBit or even any other ESP32 device. So usually ඔගොල්ලෝ අහලා තියෙන Node MCU එහෙම කියලා boards තියෙනවා market එකේ. So all these boards are actually ESP32 based boards. You can use any of these with this platform. මේකට hardware එක ඕන එකක් connect කරන්න පුළුවන්. Connect කරලා you can actually give a name as let's say among Future කියලා already දාලා තියෙනවා. EF 2022 කියලා දුන්නොත්, and you can save changes, add the device and make a configure කරන්න මේ settings එකට ගිහිල්ලා මේ settings එකට ගිහිල්ලා ඔයගොල්ලන්ට පුළුවන් මේව කරන්න. මේක ඇත්තටම settings දෙනවා කියලා කරන්න තියෙන්නේ මේ මොකද්ද Wi-Fi name එකයි password එකයි තමයි දෙන්න තියෙන්නේ. මම ඒකත් පොඩ්ඩක් ඕනනම් පෙන්නන්නම්. මේකේ ගිහිල්ලා මෙහෙම Wi-Fi name එකයි password එකයි මෙතන දෙන්න තියෙන්නේ. එතකොට මේක මේව කරගන්න පුළුවන්. right? So if I quickly අපිට තව පොඩි වෙලාවක් තියෙන නිසා මම quickly පෙන්නන්නම් applications එකක් especially mobile phone එකත් එක්ක ඒ වගේ ඒවත් එක්ක කොහොමද හදන්නේ කියලා. මේක ඇත්තටම මේ තියෙනවා මේ blocks තියෙන්නේ. මට මේ block එකක් මේවා කරලා MagicBit එකට සහ අනිත් මේවා වලට ඕන එකකට there are blocks actually. You can simply drag and drop, send any message like let's say a string. The future 2022. So I can actually select the device from here and then deploy. So if I click the deploy button here, so you can see eFuture 2022 just came to my display here, right? So likewise, you can actually even play a button. Then alert එකක් වගේ play කරන්න ඕන නම් දැන් මම මේක කරලා තියෙන්නේ මෙතන මේක අරගෙන මේ buzzer එකට connect කරලා. So now if I so you can hear now the buzzer, right? Make ඊට අමතරව you can actually even create dashboards with this one, this platform, right? So not this just this hardware. So this is actually the capability of this IoT platform. So what I'm saying, this is a free platform you can use. Only there's a session time limitation just to avoid any commercial usages. අපි මේ software එක අතන freely available කරලා තියෙන students ලාට. නමුත් අර session time එක limit කරලා තියෙනවා because මේකේ commercial use එකක් આવොත් නවත්තන්න අපිට නැත්තම් manage කරන්න අමාරු නිසා. Arduino කියන්නේ මේකට ESP32 Node MCU board එක support කරනවා මේ platform එකට. මේකට Node MCU කියන්නේ ESP32 තියෙන එක තමයි මේ වැඩ කරන්නේ මේ MagicBlocks platform එකට වැඩ කරන්නේ. So MagicBlocks only support ESP32 based ones actually. You can make calculators හදන්න පුළුවන්. Yeah, you can make calculators without any problem. ලේසියෙන්ම කරන්න පුළුවන්. Scratch එක වගේ. Yes. මේක ඇත්තටම Scratch එක කියන්නේ මේක Node Red කියලා industrial framework එකක් base කරන් හදපු software එකක්. So this has very strong features actually. For example, ඔයගොල්ලෝ මෙතන බැලුවොත් මෙතන තියෙනවා කෙලින්ම you can actually send data via multiple protocols. So there's a protocol MQTT කියලා එකක් තියෙනවා. So it's a popular IoT protocol, right? So you can actually use this for applications, and you can even connect your mobile phone using this MQTT protocol, and all that documentation is there in the website. You can find it. So basically, once it is connected like this, here what I can do is what I have done here is now I am connecting my mobile phone with this MQTT protocol. Then I am actually switching based on the X coordinate of my accelerometer. See, I am using my accelerometer here. So I cannot explain the whole thing here, but honestly, you can find the data. So this is the accelerometer value in my phone right now. My accelerometer ke real time value, right? So you can see the value changes. ඔයගලන්ට ඔය දැන් මගේ මේ MagicBit එකේ සද්දයක් එන්න මම දාලා තියෙන්නේ value එක එක අගයක් පැන්නට පස්සේ. So if when it goes above 0, I have given to generate a sound in the MagicBit buzzer, right? So you can find all these applications or examples in our website as well. Under the learn section you can find these, and there are many projects under the project section as well. So all these are free resources available for you all while you are developing these applications, and you can try out MagicBlocks as well if you want to develop something IoT, right? මට ඒකයි shortly demo කරලා පෙන්නන්න ඕනුනේ. So apart from that, I think I might have to disconnect this one. So you can actually use your mobile phones, any hardware platforms, any IoT cloud platforms like this to develop IoT application, right? So what I want to say you specifically is, don't try to reinvent the wheel by trying to implement everything from the beginning. So for you all to develop the applications like IoT, you can start this one by developing something simple with using existing resources like this. There are so many IoT cloud platforms like this. And the best part about IoT is you can develop something very small like this and then scale it up. So you don't have to spend money also for this one. And I think you should do this, because then only you all will be different from others, like this blue color pebble, which brings more vibrance to the world, right? So that's why I think you can do this. You should do this. So that's the demo I just wanted to do with MagicBlocks. And if you have any difficulty with the website, really sorry, and just try out in about 1 hour. It will be okay. And yeah, so that's about it. I think why IoT is special for you all and for us is actually, if you think that internet has changed your life, IoT will change it all over again. So this is a very popular statement about IoT, and I'm pretty sure that it will become true one day. So you all will experience this. So that's about it, and I'm ready to move on to the next Q&A. So these are my contacts. At the same time, send the MagicBit. Do we need battery? So you can actually power up MagicBit either using a USB cable, or you can connect a battery to it, or even actually a power bank, normal mobile power bank. You can connect to the MagicBit and power it up, right? So there's a warranty for this product other than the physical damage. Any manufacturer problem, we can actually solve that because we are the original manufacturer of MagicBit. You can we? Yes, you can easily code the code using the MagicBlocks IoT platform rather than with Arduino or anything, because it's block-based programming. But if you know programming, you can custom program it using JavaScript. And it's not very hard to do that. There are so many examples in the internet, you can figure it out. Yeah, so I think in the MagicBlocks, there's a commercial version as well. You can get either from the website, or if you get a MagicBit device, we provide a coupon code for the full version of MagicBlocks without the limited session type. We do that because now we have this platform free of charge for everyone around the world. So our community currently, so we develop these development boards and softwares and everything as a company. So we have exported these to over 38 countries, and our community is based on all around the world from every continent. So we cannot actually, other than limiting the session time, we had a very difficult time managing our resources to provide service to everyone. So that's why we had to limit the time. Yeah, so there's a 1 hour limited time. After the 1 hour, the session will be closed for 1 hour again, and then it will come back. So basically, I think 1 hour time is pretty much enough for you to demonstrate something or to learn or to use for prototype. If you are using MagicBit, you get the unlimited version of the software. Warranty. Somebody has asked me about JSON. JSON කියලා මොකක්ද තිබ්බේ කියලා අහලා තියෙනවා. ඒකේ කරන්නේ, so when I am sending data from my mobile phone via this MQTT protocol to somewhere, this data comes in raw format. අර නිකන් ඉලක්කම් අරම මේවා ටිකක් තියෙන එකක් එන්නේ. එතකොට මේක මම program වල පාවිච්චි කරද්දී ඔයගොල්ලෝ දකින්න ඇති somewhere I use it as accelerometer sensor.x, right? So you can divide data like this and get data in a meaningful way when you convert it to an object in programming. ඒක අපි කියන programming වල object එකකට අපි හරව ගන්නවා කියලා. All this is documented, so don't worry about if you don't understand it now. You can actually go there and do it and learn by yourself as well. When you convert something to an object, you can actually read the data very easily. That's it, right? So these things are not very techy or very complex or the most difficult things in the world. So even a 10-year-old kid can do this, right? So I can guarantee you that these things are not very, very complex or or things for the engineers or people in the industry. No, these things actually are we have created this very easy to use, so even a 10-year-old kid can do this. Yeah, somebody has asked me about the MagicBit product. So basically, if you want to use it for any applications, I would recommend you to get the Magic Key or the MagicBit Core. So the Pro version is kind of expensive, plus it has many sensor modules. You can buy it if you want, but for your applications and innovation, that one is enough. In the MagicBit, I think somebody asked me about language. So the content and everything is available in multiple languages. You can select the language there, but the software, in terms of software, you can use Magic Blocks, Arduino, Python, C#, Scratch, anything to program it. I think I just send you the MagicBit website, so you can check more details about MagicBit from the website. And yeah, are there any questions? Or I think we can wind up the session, and I will send you my contact details here as well. So if there's anything, you can, I prefer if you can send me an email, then I can get my team if you want the prices or details about the product, go to the website and check, right? Go to the website and check the prices and the product details. I cannot explain everything, I think, in this session. Yeah, I think one person has asked me about Google Cloud and Microsoft Azure. So basically, there are many cloud-based IoT platforms. Like, as I said, Google has one, Microsoft has one, AWS has. You can connect any of these hardware platforms to any of these cloud-based IoT platforms and create applications, right? So just don't try to do with every platform. Select one platform and do that. So we created this Magic Blocks platform to make it very easy for students, especially because sometimes when you are trying to figure out with Azure or Google Cloud, it will be kind of difficult because it is for professionals. Okay, right. I think we are good to go. I think I almost asked every question. So if there's no other questions, I think we can yeah, so I think there's a question asking MagicBit Core has Wi-Fi. Yes, now, all MagicBit products have Wi-Fi and Bluetooth inbuilt. Wi-Fi and Bluetooth is inbuilt. Yeah. So, so if there are no questions further, I think we can conclude the session. As I shared my contacts with you, you can actually reach out to me if there's anything. Don't ask me to develop your project. So if you need any advice, I think I might be able to support you. Okay, cool. I think that's it, and that's a wrap. And thank you very much, everyone, for inviting me for this session, especially for the organizers. And I wish you all the best for this competition, as well as for the proceedings in this event. And I wish all the best for the organizers as well to successfully complete this project. Thank you, and over to the organizing team.